The Ag Ambassador Award was created to recognize individuals who have gone beyond their normal range of activities in promoting Mississippi agriculture. It's not presented every year, only when Farm Bureau feels that it has been earned. The 2013 Ag Ambassador Award goes to Julie White and Nelda Starks of Starkville. Julie is the County Extension Coordinator in Oktibbeha County, and Nelda is the County Farm Bureau Women's Chairman for Oktibbeha County. They are the co-coordinators of a program called Farmtastic.
Farmtastic is a hands-on agriculture education program for third graders that Nelda and I created for Oktibbeha County originally, and it has expanded to the Golden Triangle.
And how long has it been going on, Nelda?
Well, last year was our first year. We had this idea in our head for several years, but it finally came to fruition last year.
Third graders from all over the Golden Triangle area have the opportunity to learn about the sources of their food, clothing, and other products.
Kids see anything from barnyard animals to crops grown in the field to horticulture, things that are grown in their garden. They see things from the forest industry. They see anything to do with toys that they play with on a daily basis and how those are important, how agriculture is important to those. They also go through a village where they do a scavenger hunt and learn how important agriculture is to their daily lives.
After a quick orientation, the kids get to meet the farm animals.
Their first stop is in the barnyard, where they experience all of the animals that you would typically see on a farm here in Mississippi.
The students get to see what it's like to milk a cow, and then they get to take some of the milk and make butter. They see a variety of animals, including cattle, pigs, goats, sheep, and horses. But their favorite is the baby chicks. One of the other stations is a farm village.
This was what I call the consumer station or the marketplace, because we want them to realize that everything they buy in the grocery store, at the department store, the hardware store, the automotive shop, all of those stores that are in a town have something to do with agriculture. We also put a school there because we wanted them to make sure that because their crayons and glue and other products that they use daily, paper, come from agriculture, we want them to know that everything they use in their daily lives comes from that. We have a farmer's market set up in the middle of the stop so they can see fresh vegetables and canned goods and things like that. We also included a Farm Bureau building and an extension office there so they can relate to where agriculture information comes from either the extension office or from the Farm Bureau office.
The kids' favorite station seems to be the farm toys.
This year we decided to add farm toys because we wanted the kids to see why it is important to have agriculture involved in football, baseball, basketball, golf, fishing, and last but not least, the horse arena. And so they come into that station and they learn about why agriculture is important to each of those sports that they usually participate in, and then they get a chance to play each of those sports while they're in that room.
The children also get to learn about Mississippi's forestry industry.
The next station is the Enchanted Forest. They come into a forest area. The first thing they get is a tree cookie, and that's not an edible cookie. That is a cookie made out of a tree that's cut into a slice, and we use that for their name tag. They get to write their name on it and wear it around their neck, so that's their name tag for the day. They get to see a Christmas tree, and they relate that to the fact that it is grown in a forest. We used a big old Christmas tree this year that Julie actually cut with a handsaw. Yeah. We have a display of forest products showing a lot of wood products, from the paper to the pulp to the wood that's used in housing and those kinds of things. The forest is set up in the middle so they can see different kinds of trees, and then we have some wildlife prints that they actually make prints in the sand.
Approximately 1,200 kids made their way through Farmtastic over the course of 4 days, and it's an experience they will long remember.
And to me, it's like we done over 1,000 activities.
But for me, my absolute favorite part of Farmtastic is watching their faces. And to get to see them explore new things that they've never seen before a lot of times, or to even just getting to hold that baby chick and to feel that fuzzy baby chick and how it feels in their hand. For me, that is where I get excited and get to be like a kid in a candy store myself when it gets time for Farmtastic, because I'm so ready to watch them.
Our 2013 Ag Ambassador Award winners are Julie White and Nelda Starks.
Well, first, thank you. This all started as a dream for me, and when I told Nelda, she jumped on board wholeheartedly. And now we've combined both of our passions and love for agriculture to educate the youth in our area, and hopefully in the next few years we can do that across our state. We would like to thank our Farm Bureau family, especially our Oktibbeha County Farm Bureau Board, for supporting a young farmer's dream and for helping us to host this program and making it a complete success. The support of the Mississippi State Extension Service, both by funding and through volunteer support, has allowed us to expand the exhibit to showcase all commodities produced in the state of Mississippi. This event would not be possible without the amount of volunteers and local producers that we have each day that take time out of their busy schedules to come and to educate the youth about where their food and fiber comes from. A special thanks goes to our family and friends who deal with mine and Nelda's craziness when it comes time for Farmtastic, and giving up many, many hours to help us get anything and everything that we need. Lastly, I'd like to thank the Mississippi Farm Bureau for giving us this honor and for viewing our program as a viable way to educate the youth of our state about agriculture. Thank you.
I'd just like to echo what Julie said this afternoon, but I want you to know that we were merely the catalyst for this program. Surely Julie had the idea, and we both had the passion when she brought me on board that we wanted to do this and we wanted to educate our children. But we want to say thank you, and a big thank you to all the supporters behind the scenes that made this happen. Farm Bureau, the Extension Service, all the organizations and community organizations, ag and community organizations in our county that helped us with funding and put their time and effort into it, their blood, sweat, and tears in some cases, I think. But we really had a lot of support and a lot of help to make this happen. But this recognition means a lot to Julie and I, but to me, the winner is really those third graders we reached. Because in the future, or at least being an old extension worker who grew up in 4-H and worked with 4-H, I always remember how 4-H got started was because we taught young people about practices and ideas, and they took it home to their parents. And that was the concept we used with this, was we wanted those third graders to take this information home and share with their mothers and daddies and aunts and uncles and grandparents about where that milk comes from, that it doesn't really come from Kroger and Walmart. It comes from that cow, and that hamburgers don't come from McDonald's. And I noticed on our program today that it says that we're celebrating the hands that feed, clothe, and shelter us. Well, this was, Farmtastic was our way of adding to this celebration, Mr. Knight, that we want to, our children to know that agriculture and our farmers do feed, clothe, and shelter us. Thank you again.